In the year 3050, the galaxy was a vast place, filled with different races and strange worlds. But one planet was mostly forgotten: Earth. Long ago, humans had thrived there, but now, aliens believed they had wiped them out. They thought humanity was gone forever, just a story from the past. A group of alien explorers from the Kalthar Empire decided to visit Earth. Led by Commander Zarin, they were curious about the old legends of a powerful race that once ruled the stars. The Kalthar were proud warriors, known for their advanced technology and cunning strategies. As they landed their sleek ships on the dusty surface of Earth, they were excited to uncover the secrets of this lost world. The aliens stepped out of their ships, their eyes wide with wonder. The landscape was different from anything they had seen before. Tall trees reached for the sky, and wild animals roamed freely. Ruins of old cities peeked through the thick foliage, telling stories of a once great civilization. Commander Zarin led his team through the tangled vines and crumbling buildings. Each step filled them with awe and fear. As they moved deeper into the ruins, they discovered strange structures covered in vines. The buildings had symbols and images of humans. The Kalthar were amazed. "Look at this!" one of the soldiers exclaimed, pointing to a mural of a giant ship soaring through the stars. It seemed to speak of humanity's past glory. The Kalthar realized that the humans had built something extraordinary long ago. The team set up their equipment, eager to scan for technology. They wanted to learn what had happened to the humans. Commander Zarin ordered his team to search the area. They began to dig through the rubble, uncovering bits of metal and old machinery. Each find excited them. They collected pieces of ancient weapons and strange devices. They could not understand how advanced the technology was, and they felt a mix of fear and respect for the humans. As they dug deeper, one of the soldiers, Tarek, found something unusual. It was a large metallic object covered in dirt. "Commander, come look at this!" Tarek called. Zarin rushed over, his heart pounding with curiosity. The object was a door, tall and wide, engraved with symbols that glowed faintly in the dim light. Zarin felt a thrill of excitement. What could be behind this door, he wondered. With a few commands, the team began to work on opening it. They used their tools to clear the dirt away and press buttons on the side. After several tense moments, the door slowly creaked open, revealing a dark hallway. The air was cool and still, carrying the scent of old technology. "Should we go inside?" one soldier asked nervously. Zarin hesitated but felt a surge of bravery. "We didn't come this far to turn back now. Let's see what secrets lie within," he said. The team stepped inside, their hearts racing. The hallway was lined with strange machines, some flickering with lights. Tarek touched one of them, and suddenly the lights brightened, revealing more of the room. The walls were filled with screens showing images of stars and planets. The Kalthar could hardly believe their eyes. "It was a command center!" Suddenly a voice echoed through the chamber. "Welcome back, warriors of Earth." The voice was deep and powerful, sending shivers down their spines. It was the AI that had been dormant for centuries, watching over Earth. "I am Sentinel, the protector of this planet. You have awakened me." The Kalthar froze in shock. They had never expected to find such advanced technology or a powerful AI. Zarin stepped forward, his voice steady. "We are not enemies. We come in peace to learn about humanity." Sentinel responded, "Humanity is not gone. You have awakened the guardians of Earth." As the words echoed, lights began to flash throughout the command center. The Kalthar felt a sense of dread and excitement. They had disturbed a force far beyond their understanding, and now they had awakened a sleeping giant. What lay ahead for the Kalthar? They had no idea that the ancient fleet of Earth was about to rise once again, ready to defend its home. The lost world was awakening, and humanity's legacy was about to return. The command center was alive with lights and sounds as Sentinel, the ancient AI, began its awakening process. The Kalthar stood in awe, their eyes wide with disbelief. They had stumbled upon a treasure that could change everything. As the AI's voice echoed through the chamber, it filled the room with a mix of hope and dread. "I have waited centuries for this moment," Sentinel said. "The guardians of Earth have been sleeping, but now you have awakened them. Prepare for the return of humanity's fleet." Zarin and his team exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and fear coursing through them. "What do you mean?" Zarin asked, his voice steady. "What fleet?" "The ancient fleet of Earth," Sentinel replied. "It lies hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the call to defend this planet. You have triggered the activation sequence. The fleet will rise again! As Sentinel spoke, the walls of the command center lit up with images of enormous warships. They were unlike anything the Calthar had ever seen, massive, powerful, and awe-inspiring. Each ship was decorated with intricate designs that told stories of battles long past. Zarin felt a chill run down his spine. The Calthar had thought humanity was weak and gone, but now they were about to face a force they had not anticipated. "Commander, what should we do?" Tarek asked, his voice trembling with excitement. Zarin took a deep breath. "We need to gather more information about this fleet. If it's as powerful as Sentinel claims, we must prepare for what comes next." With a flick of a switch, Sentinel activated the control systems. Holographic displays filled the room, showing the locations of the ancient ships buried beneath the Earth's surface. "There are 36 ships ready for activation," Sentinel announced. "They are equipped with technology lost to time." As the Calthar watched in amazement, the AI began the countdown to awaken the fleet. The room trembled as powerful energy surged through the facility. The Calthar could feel the ground shake beneath their feet. "This is incredible," one soldier shouted, barely containing his excitement. "Keep your focus," Zarin ordered, his voice firm. He knew they were on the brink of something monumental, but they needed to remain cautious. Outside, the skies darkened as ancient engines roared to life. The sounds echoed like thunder, shaking the ground and sending tremors throughout the nearby ruins. The Calthar rushed outside to see what was happening. As they looked up, the sight took their breath away. Massive warships began to rise from the earth, their hulls gleaming in the sunlight. Each ship was like a giant beast emerging from slumber. The Calthar watched in disbelief as the ancient fleet awoke, ready to reclaim its place in the galaxy. The ships slowly ascended, revealing their true size and beauty. Their powerful engines glowed with blue light, and each ship was adorned with symbols of humanity's past glory. The Calthar felt a mix of fear and awe. They had thought humanity was a myth, but now they were witnessing a miracle. Sentinel addressed the fleet. "Warriors of Earth, you have been awakened. It is time to protect your home. Stand ready for battle!" The ships responded with a chorus of deep, resonating sounds, as if the fleet itself was answering the call. Zarin stood at the forefront, his heart racing. He realized that they were no longer just explorers. They had awakened a force that could change the fate of the galaxy. "What have we done?" he whispered to himself, unsure whether to feel excitement or dread. As the fleet assembled in the sky, Sentinel began transmitting information to each ship. They were receiving their mission parameters, readying for defense against any who would threaten Earth. The Calthar watched, knowing that they had inadvertently unleashed a power that could be both a blessing and a curse. Suddenly, an alarm blared from their ship. A holographic display flickered to life, showing an approaching fleet of alien ships from the Calthar Empire. Zarin's heart sank. "They're coming! We need to prepare for an attack." The Calthar had underestimated humanity, but now they were about to see the full might of Earth's ancient fleet. Zarin felt a surge of hope as he realized that humanity was back, and they were ready to fight for their home. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and there was no turning back. The atmosphere was charged with tension as the ancient fleet hovered above Earth. Zarin and his Calthar crew quickly gathered inside their ship, the Duskwing. The alarms blared and bright red lights flashed. Outside, the sight of the massive Earth ships soaring into the sky filled them with awe, but the incoming Calthar fleet brought fear. They had awakened something powerful, but they had no idea if it would be their ally or enemy. "Commander, what do we do now?" Tarek asked, gripping his control panel tightly. The young soldier's eyes were wide with worry. Zarin took a deep breath, forcing himself to think clearly. "Prepare for possible engagement," Zarin ordered. "We need to assess the situation and protect Sentinel and the fleet. They may not recognize us as friends." As the Calthar ships approached, the Calthar soldiers watched nervously from their positions. Zarin activated the ship's communication system and sent a message to Sentinel. "We need to know what the enemy is planning. Can you get us data on the Calthar fleet?" "I am scanning their ships," Sentinel responded, its voice calm amidst the chaos. "They appear to be preparing for an attack. They are unaware of the fleet's awakening." Zarin's mind raced. "We need to warn the fleet. If they think the Calthar are still a threat, they might attack first." At that moment, the Calthar fleet entered Earth's atmosphere, sleek ships glinting in the sunlight. Zaren's heart pounded as he saw their formation. "They are positioning for a strike," he said urgently. "Activate our weapon systems. Prepare to defend ourselves." As the Cathar ships began to descend, the ancient Earth fleet responded with surprising speed. The giant warships moved like graceful predators, their powerful engines humming with energy. Zaren felt a rush of pride. Humanity's fleet was majestic and formidable. The first Cathar ship fired a barrage of laser blasts at the Earth fleet. The blasts illuminated the sky, creating brilliant explosions. "Incoming fire!" Tarek shouted, his fingers flying over the controls. Zaren braced himself as he watched the energy blasts sail towards the ancient ships. To his astonishment, the Earth fleet moved into action. Shields flared to life around the ships, absorbing the energy. Sentinel controlled the defenses with remarkable precision. "Earth ships are responding." "Engaging shields and countermeasures," the AI announced. The Cathar were stunned. They had never seen such advanced technology before. As the ancient fleet retaliated, massive laser beams shot out, cutting through the enemy ships with deadly accuracy. The Cathar's confidence turned into panic as their ships were disabled one by one. Zaren watched, captivated by the power of the ancient fleet. It was incredible to see. "They're fighting back! The Earth fleet is holding its ground!" he shouted, feeling a surge of hope. However, the battle took a dangerous turn. A Cathar ship, larger and more aggressive than the others, surged forward, intent on destroying the Duskwing. Its weapons charged, and Zaren knew they had to act fast. "Tarek, prepare to maneuver. We need to get out of its path." Tarek nodded, his face pale but determined. He pulled the controls, and the Duskwing darted to the side just in time. The Cathar ship fired, and a beam of energy blasted past them, narrowly missing their hull. "This is insane!" Tarek yelled, sweat beading on his forehead. "How did we get into this mess?" "We awakened the fleet, and now we must help them defend Earth," Zaren replied, his heart racing. "If we can get closer to Sentinel, we might be able to assist." With determination, Zaren guided the Duskwing toward the heart of the battle. The Earth fleet was pushing back against the Cathar, but they were outnumbered. The air crackled with energy as ships exploded and debris scattered through space. As they approached, Zaren felt a strange energy surge through him. He remembered the stories of Earth's bravery and resilience. They had fought hard against impossible odds in the past. Now, he realized they had a chance to do it again. "Sentinel, what are your orders?" Zaren asked, ready to help the ancient fleet. "Activate the secondary weapons and target the enemy flagship," Sentinel commanded, its voice steady. "Earth's fleet will not back down. We will show them the strength of humanity." Zaren's heart swelled with pride. "Let's do this," he shouted. With a fierce determination, he and Tarek prepared to fight alongside the ancient fleet. They would show the Cathar that humanity was not gone. They were back, stronger than ever, and ready to defend their home. The skies above Earth were a chaotic battlefield, filled with the sounds of explosions and the roar of engines. Zaren gripped the controls of the Duskwing, his heart pounding. The ancient Earth fleet was engaged in a fierce battle against the Cathar. Ships clashed in the void of space, and the stakes had never been higher. "Commander, we're taking heavy fire," Tarek shouted, glancing at the ship's monitors. Bright red alerts flashed, indicating damage to their systems. Zaren felt a rush of adrenaline. They were right in the middle of the fight, and the danger was very real. "Hold steady, Tarek! We need to get closer to the flagship," Zaren replied, his voice firm. The Cathar flagship loomed ahead, a massive warship that commanded attention. It was heavily armed and seemed determined to crush the ancient fleet. The Duskwing rocked violently as another explosion erupted nearby. Zaren fought to keep the ship steady, his mind racing. "Sentinel, can you give us a status update on the fleet?" "The Earth fleet is sustaining damage but is holding its ground," Sentinel responded. "However, if we do not eliminate the flagship soon, we risk being overwhelmed." Zaren nodded, determination filling him. "We need to find a way to disable that flagship." "Tarek, prepare the targeting system!" Tarek quickly adjusted the controls, locking onto the flagship. "Targeting system ready, Commander." "Just give the word!" Zaren took a deep breath. He could feel the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "Fire the main cannon on my mark!" As they closed in on the flagship, Zaren could see Cathar ships being picked off one by the Earth fleet. Each blast of energy was a testament to humanity's strength, but Zaren knew they could not celebrate yet. They were still in danger. "Commander, the Cathar are regrouping," Tarek warned. "They're trying to flank us," Zaren's heart raced. "We can't let them surround us. Sentinel, divert power to our shields." "Power redirected," Sentinel confirmed. The ship shuddered as energy flowed into the shields, creating a protective barrier. "We are ready for incoming fire." Just as Zaren felt a moment of relief, a massive energy beam shot towards them from the flagship. "Brace for impact!" he yelled. The ship shook violently as the energy slammed into their shields, causing sparks to fly from the control panel. "We're holding, but not for long," Tarek shouted, sweat dripping from his forehead. "Prepare to return fire," Zaren barked, feeling the pressure mounting. "On my count, 3, 2, 1, fire!" The Duskwing erupted with energy, and the beam shot out, striking the flagship. For a moment, Zaren held his breath. The blast hit its mark, and the flagship shook violently. They had done it. But the flagship's shields held strong, and it retaliated with a barrage of laser fire. The Kalthar ships began to close in around them, and Zaren realized they were running out of time. "We need to get out of here!" "Tarek, initiate evasive maneuvers." Tarek's fingers flew over the controls as the ship spun and darted to the side. The Kalthar fire whizzed by, narrowly missing them. "I'm doing my best, Commander!" he yelled, eyes wide with fear. Zaren's heart pounded as he watched the battle unfold. Kalthar ships were relentless, and the ancient fleet was sustaining heavy losses. He knew they had to change the tide of the battle. "Sentinel, can we deploy any advanced weapons from the fleet?" "Affirmative," Sentinel replied. "I am accessing the ancient weaponry systems. Deploying missiles now." Zaren's eyes widened as he watched the ancient fleet prepare to launch missiles. This could turn the tide, he said, hope rising within him. "Everyone brace yourselves." With a loud roar, missiles shot from the Earth ships, streaking through the chaos. They targeted the Kalthar flagship and surrounding vessels. Explosions erupted as the missiles struck their targets, creating a chain reaction that sent Kalthar ships spiraling out of control. "Look at that!" Tarek shouted, pointing at the screen. "We're gaining ground!" The Earth fleet pressed the advantage, moving forward with renewed energy. Zaren felt a surge of pride and determination. Humanity was fighting back, and they were not going to lose their home without a fight. "Keep the pressure on!" Zaren shouted. "Target the flagship again." As they closed in, the flagship returned fire, but the Duskwing had its shields raised. Zaren clenched his fists. "We can't let them regroup. Fire at will." With every shot, the battle grew more intense. Zaren and Tarek worked in perfect sync, maneuvering their ship through enemy fire and launching counterattacks. The ancient fleet was awakening, and with it, the spirit of humanity. As the flagship began to falter, Zaren felt hope blossom in his chest. They were on the brink of victory, but he knew the battle was far from over. The Kalthar were fierce, and they would not give up easily. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, and Zaren was determined to see it through. The battle for survival had begun, and humanity was ready to fight for its future. The fierce battle above Earth was coming to a climax. The once calm blue planet was now a war zone, with explosions lighting up the sky. Zaren and Tarek piloted the Duskwing, navigating through the chaos of the battlefield. The ancient fleet had regained its strength, and they were pushing the Kalthar forces back. However, the fight was not over yet. "Commander, the flagship is weakening!" Tarek shouted, his eyes glued to the control panel. "If we can just land one more good hit, we can take it down." Zaren nodded, feeling the adrenaline surge through him. "Let's finish this!" "Sentinel, prepare for a final assault on the flagship." "Missiles are ready to launch," Sentinel replied, its voice calm and reassuring amidst the chaos. Targeting systems locked on the flagship. Zaren's heart raced as he steered the ship closer to their target. The Kalthar flagship was massive, but it was now surrounded by debris and failing ships. "All right, Tarek. On my mark, fire!" With a powerful whoosh, the Duskwing released its missiles. They soared through the air, leaving trails of smoke behind them. The Kalthar flagship returned fire, but the Earth fleet had learned to anticipate its moves. Their shields flared, absorbing the blasts while the missiles flew toward their target. Then, with a series of brilliant explosions, the missiles struck the flagship. The impact shook the surrounding ships, and for a moment, everything felt like it was happening in slow motion. Zaren could see the flagship's hull breaking apart, its systems failing. "Look! They're losing control!" Tarek exclaimed, pointing at the screen. "It's going down!" Cheers erupted from the crew. Zaren felt a wave of relief wash over him. They had done it. They had fought back against an overwhelming enemy. But even in their victory, he knew they couldn't let their guard down yet. The remaining Calthar ships might still be a threat. Stay alert! We need to watch for any remaining Calthar ships trying to escape, Zarin called out, his voice steady. As the flagship began to break apart, the Calthar forces started to retreat. Zarin watched as they turned away from the battle, their ships fleeing into the void of space. The Earth fleet was victorious. Cheers filled the communication channels, but Zarin kept his focus. He knew the fight for Earth was far from over. Suddenly, Sentinel interrupted his thoughts. Commander, I am detecting a small group of Calthar ships attempting to regroup at a nearby asteroid belt. They are heavily damaged but still operational. Zarin's brow furrowed. We need to deal with them before they can regroup and return to fight another day. Tarek, set a course for the asteroid belt. Yes, Commander, Tarek replied, his fingers flying over the controls. The Duskwing turned sharply, heading towards the new target. As they approached the asteroid belt, Zarin felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. They had just won a great victory, but he knew they had to finish what they started. The Calthar had to understand that Earth was not a place to be taken lightly. Sentinel, can you analyze their ships? Zarin asked, his eyes scanning the display. I am scanning now, Sentinel replied. The remaining Calthar vessels are heavily damaged and disorganized. They pose a minimal threat. Good. Let's take them down quickly then, Zarin said, his voice resolute. Prepare to engage! With a sudden rush, the Duskwing and the Earth fleet approached the remaining Calthar ships. They fired their weapons, and the Calthar vessels struggled to retaliate. One by one, they were taken down, their crews realizing the fight was futile. As the last Calthar ship exploded in a shower of debris, Zarin felt a sense of triumph. They had fought hard, and now they were on the brink of a new beginning. The skies were clear again, and Earth was safe, at least for now. With the battle finally over, Zarin and Tarek took a moment to breathe. They looked out at the stars, shining brightly against the darkness of space. It was a reminder of how far they had come and how much was still ahead. Commander, we did it! Tarek exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. We saved Earth! Zarin smiled, his heart swelling with pride. Yes, we did, but this is only the beginning. We need to ensure that humanity remains united and ready for whatever comes next. As they turned their ship back toward Earth, Zarin thought of the ancient fleet and the strength it represented. They had awakened a part of humanity that had long been dormant. They were warriors, defenders of their home. A new chapter was beginning. Zarin knew they would face challenges ahead, but they would face them together. Humanity had fought for its survival and emerged stronger. And now, with the ancient fleet at their side, they were ready to protect their world from any threat that dared to come. Earth was home, and they would fight to keep it that way.